Hey team, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. I have quite a few things to go over with you all today. So, with that being said, let's get to it. Here's our quote of the week. Some of the most beautiful chapters in our lives won't have a title until much later. This is by author Bob Goff. There's a lot of uncertain things going on right now. Some things I'm sure you have questions about, and things seem very chaotic and tense. You guys, take a breather. Don't stress. Just kind of be present. Do the best you can. And when we come out of this, hopefully there will be a little good. I believe that. So just keep hanging on. You're doing okay. All right, contact information. If you have a question, a problem, I'll solve it. Send me an email. Okay. My office hours are Monday through Thursday, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. That does not mean that's the only time you can contact me. You should contact me when you have a question. But just know that I probably will not get back to you until my office hours. That's when you should expect a response. All right, April 13th through the 17th. This is our to-do list for the week. You've got two options here. The suggested schedule is for my kids who like to split things up, okay? And some of you have told me this really helps you, so I'm keeping it. If it helped, I'm keeping it. So there you go. Some of y'all just like to know what's due. Give me the deadline and give me the list and let me get to it. So this is for you. Whoever you are and whichever style works for you, y'all just make it happen. And if you have questions, ask me. That's all I ask. All right, so you're watching your weekly video, so you can check that off. Good job. SSR 15 minutes daily. I went over this last week, but they want your assignments to basically take up Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is kind of that catch-up day, all right? So with that being said, you're only reading 60 minutes a week for English class. It's not too bad. All right, DGP, you've got your 4 parts there, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. Thursdays, I'll upload a DGP video at 8 o'clock a.m. All right, what that means for you, I recommend watching that DGP video and then taking the DGP quiz. That is my recommendation, okay? Some of you have probably even watched the DGP video, filled in your DGP sheet, and then taken the quiz. I'm fine with that, okay? Whatever's going to help you be successful, that's what we're going for here. Figurative language review, and then you've got sonnet reviews as well. We're going to be looking at the Shakespearean sonnet this week, so 14 lines, and then that particular rhyme scheme, and I'll go over that in a little bit. And then at the end, you guys are going to write your own sonnets, and I can't wait to read them. We are not going to have a word skills quiz, nor will we have a word skills test this week, but you still need to study your terms. I almost said worms. You need to study your terms using Quizlet. Okay, that'll be the best thing for you there. Weekly check-in is the Google form that's just asking how you're doing. Do you need anything from me? Were you able to find all your assignments? Some of you guys had some issues last week with your work, and so because of that weekly check-in, I was able to get to the bottom of it. So that does really, really help out, so make sure you're doing that. Only one a week, team. I'm not asking for one every single day. That gets to be redundant for you all, and it gets to be redundant for me, because whatever you type in, I am reading, all right? So if you're typing in the same thing every single day, that's not helpful. So just once a week is all I'm asking. I know you have tons of work in your other classes, all right? So I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I just want to make sure you're all right. With that being said, not trying to overwhelm you, this week we only are doing one SSR journal. You'll see that I've recommended completing your journal on Tuesday, but that's entirely up to you. You decide when you want to submit your SSR journal, and we'll go from there. That's it in terms of your assignments. If you did not like the to-do list, here's your schedule, whichever one works for you. And I'm asking all assignments to be done by Sunday, April 19th, 2020, no later than 11:59 p.m. Now, if I were you, I would work really hard during the week so that my weekends are still free. But I understand that some of you are actually working and you have other obligations. So I am going to extend that deadline, and I hope that that helps some of you. All right, moving on. Let's check the time really quickly. I just want to make sure I'm not talking my head off, and I'm doing pretty great. 5 minutes in. Here we go. DGP quick notes. These are your quick notes for DGP. These are kind of like the high points, right? You got your parts of speech, how to find your subject, your prepositional phrases, appositive phrases, and your verbs. There are other parts to the sentence, but these are the main ones. You got your sentence type formulas here. And then you've got some rules in terms of capitalization, apostrophes, and quotation marks. All right, so here's our sentence. Abe likes milk, but James prefers lemonade. So I've already split up the parts of speech for you. So Abe, milk, James, and lemonade are all the same part of speech. So what are they? Likes and prefers, both of those, same part of speech, but is a part of speech as well. Okay? All right, then you got the parts of the sentence here. So 2 subjects, 2 verbs, and 2 direct objects. Type of sentence, use your notes to help you there. I will tell you it's not a simple sentence. So that leaves 3 other options. All right, and then sentence error. So what things need to be capitalized? What do we add at the end of the sentence? Do we need commas in between certain things within our sentence? So that's it for DGP. I'll upload the video on Thursday. You'll take your quiz on Thursday, and we'll go from there. Figurative language terms and definitions. So in case you need a refresher, here they are. I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm going to pick on the main 2 I think that might be kind of new or not as familiar to you. So the first one would be an allusion. That's a reference to something well known. So they could be religious allusions like in The Alchemist. They could be historical allusions like in Julius Caesar. Literary allusions with Salva in A Long Walk to Water. Maybe he references a book. That would be a literary allusion. Okay? Things to well known. It's kind of like name dropping. It doesn't really work if people don't know the person, right? Or if they don't know the thing, if they don't catch a reference. It's got to be well known. So allusions, they have to be well known. The other thing I would like to go over would be idioms. So that's an expression that means something other than the literal meaning of its individual words. What that means. The literal meaning of a phrase is different than what is understood. So if I said it's raining cats and dogs outside, no one's going to go to the window and look to see where the cats and the dogs are falling from. Like, that is not what you're going to do. You're going to know, I need to grab my umbrella because it's raining really hard outside. If someone's green with envy, you're not going to look at their face to see where they're green. Okay, but you are going to be like, yo, you need to get it together. Like, that's your friend. I'm going to need you not to be jealous of that particular person. So the literal meaning of the words is different than the understood meaning. Those are idioms. The rest of them you should be somewhat familiar with. All right, Colin's drinking straw bent like a tiny elbow, causing the last of the orange juice to gurgle as it slipped past. Will be a simile because you're comparing the drinking straw to a tiny elbow and you're using like. All I want you to do for this is just highlight the answers. Nothing, super intense here. And this is to help you kind of review before you get down to the nitty-gritty with your Sonnet 18 analysis. So, Sonnet 18 was written by William Shakespeare. We've heard of him either with Romeo and Juliet, or for Honors English 2, you guys have heard of him with Julius Caesar. All right. He was also known for writing sonnets, and there was a particular structure. 14 lines. They had a particular rhyme scheme. And usually they talked about love. I know, not my favorite subject, but that's what they did. So here you've got the original Shakespearean sonnet on the left side, and then on the right side, you've got it in the modern translation. So if you read this and you don't know what he's talking about, look at the right side, and that should help you. And then you've got some questions below to answer. And Shakespeare also used similes, metaphors, personification, many different types of figurative language in his poems. So let's see, there's one that I did want to go over with you. Oh, it's about heaven. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. Too hot the eye of heaven shines is a metaphor. That's the answer to one of your questions. And what is being compared to the eye of heaven? Okay, so think about that. And then we've got just a quick exercise in rhyme scheme. So you would just fill out the rhyme scheme on the right side, looking at the last word of each line. Okay. Lines 13 and 14 of his poem are considered couplets because they're two lines that go together like a couple. Yeah. And then quatrains, qua, you should know from our word skills studies, means four. And so 4 lines make up one quatrain. And then 2 lines make up a couplet. So you should be able to apply that information to answer your questions here. All right, then we're almost done, you guys. You're doing so great, so great. Just hold on just a couple more minutes. So fill in the blank sonnet. Where you've got these gray boxes here, you're going to fill those lines in. Oh my goodness, this one needs to also be filled in. Let me fix that right now. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong color. Oh, me. There you go. All right, you guys. So you'll see the rhyme scheme on the right side, and so you need to make sure whatever you use to fill in those particular lines follows that rhyme scheme. Okay? All right, so that is that. And then, since you've got the hang of it, you've already analyzed 2 poems, one on Common Lit, and then the other one just now. And then you've created your own with a fill in the blank. The next one is for you to make your own. It can be about something that you enjoy or love. It doesn't have to be mushy-gushy. I don't really like that, honestly. So it can be about how much you hate love. Like maybe you don't like love. That's cool too. I welcome that. So whatever your poem's about, it can be about Fortnite or Hulu or how incredible eggs are. I don't know. Lines 1 through 14. Then make sure they follow the rhyme scheme over here. Put a picture in that relates to your particular sonnet, and then give me a title. And that is it. That's your work. I'm not asking for a lot. I know some of you guys are taking on additional responsibilities. I understand that. So that's your work. Those are your assignments. If you have questions, please send me an email. And until next time, remember that I love you and I miss you a really, really big deal. A lot. I can't even speak correctly. But we'll get through it. So stay encouraged.